Greetings, everyone. Today I'm excited to talk to you about a classical piece of literature that continues to resonate with readers of all ages George Orwell's Animal Farm. Now, before we delve into the details, let's start with a question. How many of you have read Animal Farm before? Well, for those who haven't read it before, don't worry. By the end of this talk, I hope you'll be inspired to pick up a copy and discover the profound themes and timeless messages within its pages. Now, let's start with a quick overview of Animal Farm. Animal Farm is a novella published by George Orwell in 1945. While it may seem like a simple story about farm animals overthrowing their human owner, it's much more than that. At its core, Animal Farm is a powerful allegory that explores complex themes such as power, corruption, revolution, and the nature of authority. Now, let's dive into some key themes of Animal Farm. The first one I will be talking about is power and corruption. In Animal Farm, power is depicted as a corrupting force that can lead individuals and groups to abuse their authority for personal gain. The pigs, who initially lead the revolution for equality, gradually becomes as oppressive as the humans they overthrew. The theme highlights the dangers of unchecked power and the prosperity for individuals who prioritize their own interest over the common good. How do you define power, and what examples of power and corruption have you seen in your life? Let me give you a moment to think about that. Now that I've given you some time, let's go to the nature of authority. Can you think of a time when you questioned authority or witnessed someone abusing their power? What were the consequences? Well, Animal Farm raises questions about who should hold power and how it should be wielded. It explores the complexity of leadership and the potential for authority figures to exploit their position for personal gain. The pig's manipulation of the other animals illustrate how authority can be used to maintain control and suppress dissent, highlighting the importance of remaining vigilant and against tyranny. Now let's move on to revolution and ideology. At its heart, Animal Farm is a commentary on the idealism of revolution and the harsh realities of power struggle. What does the concept of revolution mean to you? And how do you think it can lead to positive or maybe negative change? The animals' initial rebellion against their human oppressor is driven by a vision of equality and freedom. However, as the story unfolds, we witness how this noble ideology is corrupted by the pig's desire for supremacy. Orwell uses Animal Farm to caution against the naivety of revolutionary fervor and the dangers of trading one form for oppression of another. Now let's talk about some character analysis. Let's start with Napoleon. Napoleon emerges as the primary antagonist of the story, representing an archetype of the tyrannic leader, initially portrayed as co-leader alongside Snowball, we will be talking about in the next page. Napoleon manipulates his fellow animals to consolidate power for himself. Through his ruthless tactics and disregard of principles of animalism, Napoleon embodies the corrupting influence of authority and the dangers of unchecked ambition. Well, have you ever encountered a leader like Napoleon in your life? Someone who prioritizes their own interest over the well-being of others? And how do you respond? Well, let me give you a moment to think about that. Okay, interesting. Now, let's move on to our dear Snowball. Snowball serves as a contrast to Napoleon, initially portrayed as the visionary leader with a genuine commitment to the ideals of revolution. However, he is ultimately driven to exile, and he symbolizes the betrayal of revolution principles in the pursuit of power. Snowball is often seen as the more idealistic leader. Now, can you think of a real life figure who embodies similar qualities of idealism and vision? Now, we will be talking about one last character, Boxer, the loyal and hard-working horse, who symbolizes the working class. His motto is, I will work harder, and reflects his unwavering dedication to the cause of animalism, his willingness to sacrifice for the collective good. Yet, despite his loyalty, Boxer ultimately falls victim to exploitation, betrayal, highlighting the vulnerability of working class in the face of oppressive reigns. Well, have you ever felt exploited or undervalued in your work or personal life? How did you cope with that feeling? After a bit talk, let's think a bit. I'd like to hear from you based on our discussion today. What are some lessons or insights you've gained about power, authority, and revolution, or more? I'll give you some time to think and tell me a bit about it. Wonderful. Now, let's end with the conclusion. In conclusion, Animal Farm is a thought provoking and enduring work of literature that continues to captivate readers with its powerful themes and compelling characters. Whether you're reading it for the first time or revisiting it, I encourage you to explore its pages and uncover the timeless truths it holds. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and insights, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments you might have. Now, thank you for listening.